Got Detroit, Calgary next up. Rotation 9 and 10. Calgary a -160. Home favorite against the Detroit Red Wings, who have been hard trying. Give them credit. I mean, they have surprised some people with their results so far as they finish up this Western Canadian road trip after back-to-back wins against Edmonton and Vancouver. Now they're looking for the 3-0 sweep out in Western Canada tonight. Total, by the way, for that Detroit-Calgary game, 5.5, shaded slightly to the under. Can the Detroit Red Wings do it? This is a team that didn't get a lot of love in the preseason prognostications, is a team that hasn't been highly power rated in the betting markets throughout the NHL season, yet the Detroit Red Wings are a respectable 8-8. On the season, and Calgary 8-7. So really, there's only a half game difference between these two teams in the standings, even though the expectations before the season were much higher for Calgary than they were for Detroit. Calgary off a 5-3 loss to the Vancouver Canucks. Weird game. They played well. They outshot Vancouver 32-21, carried the play to them extensively. Vancouver was great in net that night, and it seemed like every shot Vancouver was throwing at the net and that Mike Smith was going in. It was just one of those weird net games for Calgary. They deserve better fate, in my opinion, than losing 5-3 to Vancouver. We'll see if the Flames have a bounce back in them tonight. We've got Dana and Andrew with thoughts on this Detroit and Calgary game. Let's start with Dana. What are you looking at here in the Saddle Dome?
Well, we could take what we said the other night and basically apply it here because I'm on the total. And as you said, that the Calgary the Wings are off of their Canadian road trip, so there might be getting a little bit of a look ahead situation here where maybe they get a couple of goals on the board and go into defensive mode because they're more worried or more their heads are more about getting home than it is finishing off the game, maybe or offensively at least. A lot of times teams go into a shell once they have a little bit of a lead and they know they're going to be headed out the next couple days or the next day. If you take a look at this road trip, not one of these games, except the Arizona game, reached a total of 6. So if you throw out the over and the Arizona game on Halloween, 7 of the Wings games, or even if you don't, 7 of the Wings' last 8 games have gone under the total. And as far as the Flames are concerned, Ian, we're still in a situation where I'm trying to figure out where any other scoring is going to come from other than Gaudreau and Monahan. And I know that they look really good the other night against Vancouver. I agree with your assessment, but honestly, I still don't know if we're betting the total if I'm with a Calgary team that has the ability to push that total over the number consistently. As far as we talked earlier, as far as the Calgary Flames are concerned, we also have to figure on the fact that Mike Smith has played extremely well. His goals against average is not great, but certainly his save percentage is better than probably at any point in his career. His .923 save percentage, if you go back, is as good as he's played, and I think he's kind of played a rejuvenated brand of hockey for Calgary, and he's won 3 out of his last 5 starts. And in fact, that one game that they lost against Dallas, he allowed just 2 goals. So I'm pretty confident in Mike Smith. I think he's as we talked about earlier in the season, you know, when Mike Smith got a change of scenery, I think he's been a better goaltender. He wasn't at his best against Vancouver. There were a couple goals that, you know, certainly wasn't his fault. I thought I've seen him better in the past, but that just kind of leads me to believe that he's going to have a bounce back effort tonight. You also, on the other side of that, are getting Peter Mrazek, who is coming off of his best effort, his shutout against the Oilers on Sunday. He's another guy whose goals against average is not spectacular, but he showed against the Capitals that in his 37 save effort that he can carry a heavy workload. And a lot of times, too, you see Detroit playing pretty well in front of him. In fact, in his starts this year, he's only had to make an average of 29 saves, which sounds like a lot, but really by comparison to the rest of the league, that's not a lot of saves per game. And there was also 2 games in there where he faced less than 25 shots. So Detroit plays pretty well in front of him defensively. The under in this series has cashed 72% of the time in the last 30 meetings. That works out to 18-7-5. So tonight I'm going under on this game, and what's good about this is I'm looking at the odds right now. The the over is being bet pretty heavy on that. So you can get minus $1.06 at Pinnacle right now, and you might want to wait on that, maybe a little bit. I don't know if that's going to go down anymore, but I'm certainly going to be on the under in this game, under the 5.5.
All right, there we go. We're back. No, we had to kick Cy Sen out of this chat. What's he talking about here? Come to pay for the, what is it? Some stream or something like that. Yeah, get out of here, Cy Sena. Take that shit and go on home.
What's his name? Side Santa?
Yeah, it sounds like Side Santa. It's what Cy Sena going on here in this chat here. Unfortunately, I was listening to a great breakdown of the under, and you got some clown here. Plus, you can watch all the NBA games live on Bet365 with no cost. Some stupid sales pitch, some joker.
Well, I got a sales pitch too, as long as we're doing that. If we're doing that, let's just.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kicking him out there while we're wrapping up. So I'm sorry for the dead air, but we had to take care of that situation in the chat. We haven't had many chat issues. Keep that crap for Gabe Morency's show in the late night hours here with the chat. We're kicking people out. Right? He's got to do that a lot in the late night hours on his show. We shouldn't have to do that here on the Ice Guys. It's a clean chat, clean show. Let's keep it that way. So yeah, Dana on the under, Detroit and Calgary. Let's get back to more important things here. Matters at hand. Detroit, Calgary under for Dana Lane. See if we can get a low-scoring game. And Detroit trying to go for a 3-0 finish on this road trip. That would really be something if they can pull it off. But you would think Calgary's got a better effort in them. Andrew, what are you looking at here in Calgary tonight?
Yeah, I'll keep things short and sweet. I agree with what Dana was saying. I think as far as Calgary goes, I think Mike Smith is in for a bounce-back game. But as far as scoring goes, I don't really see anyone besides Gaudreau or Monahan doing anything fantastic or anything to really hype me up. So I'm looking at the under in this game. I think as far as Detroit goes, I think they've been able to put up shots and they've been able to compete. But looking at this game as a whole, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of action. I think it'll be a very defensive game. I think the neutral zone is going to be very clogged up. It's two teams that get a lot of shots, guys, but they're not a lot of quality shots, in my opinion. It's kind of like what Dana was saying about these two teams having opportunities. Both teams being strong in the offensive zones, but not being able to really finish the job. So which is why I think as far as this game goes, as it drags out, especially if Detroit gets that early lead, it's going to be a very defensive game. They'll probably set up some kind of trap to just kind of finish that game out, drag it out. So if you're looking for a game to watch, I probably wouldn't pick this game. It's the most exciting game on the card tonight, guys. But for me, this is probably my under for tonight.
There you go. Another under. We got consensus with Dana and Andrew under 5.5, Detroit, Calgary. And Alex, you've got a little thought here on this game. What else? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm going a different route. I'm taking the side here with Detroit. Like I said, they've been playing pretty good on the road trip. They've won 4 of their last 5. Like I said, they're going for 3 in a row tonight. And you look at their schedule. I mean, the fact that they've done so well on the road, they've played 11 of their 16 games on the road to start the year. So to go 6-5 heading into this game tonight on the road, that's not too shabby. So I'm looking at Detroit here, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later as we get to our best bets.
There we go, foreshadowing. You're right. And Alex did have something on this game. I just saw it in the games list now, so my bad on that. So, yeah, Detroit is what Alex is looking at here in this game. Calgary, Detroit.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.